Okay, it's Demon of the Week again, and today we're looking at Haures.
Welcome to my channel. You are entering the world of magic and mysticism with your host, Lee W. Johnson. Keep the lights on and help improve the channel by becoming a supporter for just $2.99 per month. Hit the join button.
Okay, so the 64th spirit of the Goetia, Haures. Other names are flauros, hauras, and havres, and also this is flereous. If you are following Conley's tradition or way of doing things with the 5 elemental kings, then you would have obviously come across Flereous, who is the elemental king of fire. So Flereous is said to be Haures. I would kind of disagree myself. They are probably the same entity, but it's different masks. I find Haures to be a very different energy to Flereous. Haures is malefic. Definitely malefic, and if you are working on execration magics, cursing and things like that, Haures is great. Just be careful. This again, as last week, the same warning. This is definitely, I cannot say definitely enough, not for beginners and not for intermediaries. This is advanced, and a spirit for advanced practitioners. The dealings I had with Haures many years ago, you don't want to work with Haures unless it's absolutely severe circumstances. Okay, but anyway, let's go through this. There's a lot to get through on this one. There's a lot from Jehannam actually. Okay, so dates December 22nd to 30th, direction south, tarot, 2 of Pentacles, planet Venus, metal copper, element fire, color green, plant, skullcap, incense, sandalwood, zodiac is 1 to 10 degrees Capricorn, and other correspondences are dragon's blood, Mercury, sage, rue, red sandalwood, arnica, and copal. And the N is Ganic Tassa Fubin Flauros. Again, if you worked with Flereous, you would have recognized the N. Flereous's N is Ganic Tassa Fubin Flereous. So, very much calling the same thing, the protection through fire, etc. Okay, the Goetia appeareth at first like a leopard, mighty, terrible, and strong, but after a while, at the command of the Exorcist, he putteth on human shape, with eyes flaming and fiery, and a most terrible countenance. He giveth true answers of all things present, past, and to come, but if he be not commanded into a triangle, he will lie in all these things, and deceive and beguile the Exorcist in these things, or in such and such business. He will lastly, although it's not lastly, it's another one, he will lastly talk of the creation of the world and of divinity and of how he and other spirits fell, and he destroyeth and burneth up those who be the enemies of the Exorcist, should he so desire it. Also, he will not suffer him to be tempted by any other spirit or otherwise. Okay, when it comes to this spirit, that last part is definitely kind of his wheelhouse. Okay, Connolly says also flauros, associated with the Ducant hierarchy flereous, and twinned with phoenix or phoenix, different aspects of similar energy. Again, this is definitely one of those that have a variety of different masks. So you've got the flereous, which is the elemental king of fire. Then you've got Haures, which is very much a malefic type of spirit for execration works. Then you've got Phoenix or Phoenix, which is a different energy altogether again, but that's the twinned aspect. Connolly also goes on to say fire baptisms, starting a new phase in life or new projects or relationships. Okay, Myrtle Wake states Phil Hine in Aspects of Evocation, which, if I remember correctly, was a compilation of articles from different chaos magicians. Includes that Haures is Horus, the Egyptian god Horus. Always double check the info given to you by the spirit, and remember that you are inviting a spirit to do with destruction, so at the very least expect their energy to be unpleasant. Only approach him if you can stand your ground. People who are shameless and guiltless, people who know what they want and have the experience of destruction being the necessary force behind creation, those are the kind of people who can work with Haures. Otherwise, I would just say stay away. Motorwake asked about offerings, and the reply was the destruction of something to show a sacrifice, and also adds an object like your favorite shoes, a pair of shoes, and not pets or family members. Okay. Motorwake also says, if brave enough, a drop of your blood. I personally would not do that with Haures. If you're going to work with offerings of blood, with any spirit really, it should be a spirit that you have a strong connection with, a strong relationship with. Don't just go willy-nilly throwing your blood around for all the different spirits. Jahannam says flauros, or can change your personality, transforming you into a more dangerous predator, assists in ascending into hidden realms of the astral planes and shape-shifting within them, teaches how to detect weaknesses or insecurity, gives you the ability to intuit the qualities of stones and other natural things, shows you how to scry and teaches about divinity, cosmology, angels and himself, rules over new beginnings, justice, action, baptism, love and balance. Flereous rules scholarship, focus, concentration, professionalism, discipline and attention to detail, can raise your IQ and strengthen your short-term memory. In terms of all of this, and especially when Jahannam's talking about Flereous rules, scholarship, focus, concentration, professionalism, discipline, etc., etc. This I find, I know that the planet is listed as Venus, and that's usually in relation to the rank of the spirit within the Goetia, the Ars Goetia itself. But Flereous, I feel, is very much a Saturnian type of energy, and also the zodiac is one to take Capricorn, which would be Saturnian in nature. So definitely a Saturnian energy with Haures. There's the precise, the discipline, as it says, scholarship, focus, concentration, professionalism, discipline. But there's also the aspect of death, execration, cursing, and things like that. Carrying on with Jahannam, Jaythorpe adds that Flereous represents sudden change, hasteness, lust for the ego, and her auspices are apt for rites of baptism, love, action, solstice. Can alter the astral body by giving it claws which can be retracted, can also give the astral body dark, raven-like wings which can help the witch alter the weather. Flauros is a great ally in astral welfare and brings death to her victims by flame, can turn spirits against a victim and see that someone goes undisturbed by temptation. And then the Goetia ritual, the aflamed eyes signify an ambivalent being, simultaneously celestial and demonic, creative and destructive, a means of devouring all created things, returning them to original unity. Flauros stirs terrible things to awaken from their sleep, to seek soft flesh and warm blood. Okay, so going to repeat. Do not work with Haures if you are a beginner or even intermediary. Haures is one of those advanced spirits that can be quite difficult to control. You don't want to really, we don't like to say control the spirits, but Haures is just one of those ones that, it's kind of like the rampant imp type of thing. They can be very helpful, but trying to keep them at bay and stop them from running all over the town can get quite difficult. Alright, so that's Haures, and next week we're looking at Andrielphus, which should be a very quick one. Okay, so I'll see you then. Cheers for now.